Hi guys, today we are going to do the second part of function tables, and we're going to reverse things a little bit. So write down your I can sentence, and if you need to get your notes out, pause the video now and get your notes out and ready, and then copy this down. I can use a table to find a function rule. Okay, I can use a table to find a function rule. So yesterday or the other day, the first lesson of this, you were given a table like this. Oh, that was bad. Like this, okay? And it said, your x's are here, your y's are here. And then it gives you the function rule or the math problem to use. So maybe it is 3 plus x equals y. And then you were given numbers to use, like this. And then all you did was fill out the table and find all your y's. Today, we're going to look at tables like this, where you're given, here's your x's, here's your y's. So perhaps you're given all of your x's, and you're given all of your y's, and your job now is going to be figuring out the function rule, figuring out what math problem is happening each time. All right, so that's what we're doing today. So if you're good at solving puzzles and you're good at riddles, you'll probably be good at this. It probably will just pop out at you automatically. However, if that is something that you struggle with, then this is going to be particularly difficult. And it was for me, that's okay. So I figured out some strategies here, okay? So if you're taking notes, if I'm writing this in green, you don't have to write it, okay? So this is what you'll be given. You'll be given a table that looks something like this. And we talked about this the other day, where for some reason it's popular to give you tables that only have 2 columns in them. All right, so they're going to tell you that your x and your y's. So some people will call this the input and the output, just so you know. You could see it either way. And they'll tell you 12 and 4, 24 and 18, 30 and 10, and then they'll have maybe like a question mark here and a 6. And they want you to figure out what's happening each time. And the problem with this table is that it doesn't give you any workspace. So my suggestion is that you, in your own paper, you make a 3-column table that has that very wide middle workspace. And you're going to need that, and I'll show you why. So here's what we got. Our x's, they say 12, 24, 30, and then it's a blank. 4, 18, 10, and 6. And it's our job to figure out what's happening each time. And this is kind of a guess and check type situation, okay? So I'm going to look at my first 2. The 12 turns into a 4. How does that happen? Well, I know that 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So I'm going to check my second one and see if that works. Is 24 divided by 3, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't, I made an error. That wasn't 18, that was 8. It wasn't 18, it was 8. My bad, that messed everything up. Good thing we caught that before we got too far. Is 24 divided by 3 8? Well, yes. Is 30 divided by 3 10? Well, yes. So I think since the divide by 3 is working for each one, I think we found the math problem we should be using here. It seems to be divide by 3. So there's 2 things we have to do. So the first thing now we need to do is figure out, okay, what goes there? So what number, when I divide it by 3, equals 6? What divided by 3 equals 6? Well, you should know 18. So in that blank, it needs to be an 18. So 18 divided by 3 equals 6. And then the second thing we have to do is we have to say the function rule. We have to say the math problem. And we know every time we're dividing by 3. But we can't just say divide by 3. We have to write it as a function rule. We have to kind of make it look like an equation. So what are we doing each time? We're taking this first number, right, and we're dividing it by 3. And we call those first numbers the x numbers. So we can say x divided by 3. And then what's happening is we're getting these as our answers. So the x number, when you divide it by 3, you're getting your y numbers, your answers. So we can say our function rule for this one is x divided by 3 equals y. And if you want to be really good, all right, we don't like using that division symbol anymore, you could write it like this: x divided by 3 equals y. And now you look like you really know what you're talking about. Okay? So this is what I want us to be doing, all right? You're going to be making the table with the 3 columns and testing out a math problem each time. Let's do one more. All right, example number 2, okay? Once again, if it's in green, you don't have to write it. So, example number 2. They're going to give you a table that looks like this. All right, it's going to have the x's and the y's. And let's see, they're going to give us, for this one, let's do 2, 5, 7, and 9. And the y's are 18, 45, 63, blank. Okay, so my strategy to you is, on your own paper now, write a 3-column table with that wide middle column. Your x's go here and your y's go here. Okay. Fill in the numbers, the 2, the 5, the 7, and the 9. The 18, 45, 63, and blank. All right, so let's test out. Let's see what's happening every time. So if I'm going from 2 to 18, what happens? All right, I could say 2 plus 16 equals 18. So test out the next one. Is 5 plus 16 equal to 45? Well, no. So it's not plus 16. Okay? What else is jumping out to you? Probably this. 2 times 9 equals 18. So maybe it's times 9. Test out the next one. Is 5 times 9 equal to 45? Well, yeah. Test out the next one. Is 7 times 9 equal to 63? Yeah. Now you have to test out every row because some tables they give you, it might work for the first one and it might work for the second one and then not for the third. They get tricky like that. So I think we're pretty secure that our rule is times 9. So do the next one. We have a 9. Let's do times 9. What do we get? 81. Okay. So that was our first job. We filled in the blank. Okay, use the rule. 81 goes there. Now write the function rule. So we said what's happening each time? Times 9. So when we take our x times 9, we equal our answers, our y numbers. So anytime we take our x number, when we multiply it by 9, we're getting our y numbers. So if I want to be super cool and write this in the math way, this looks weird. So weird. We don't do that anymore, right? So if I want to say x times 9, I can simply say 9x, because that means 9 times x, right? And then that equals all my y numbers. So this would be our answer, our function rule. All right, I think you are ready to do your